Hi, welcome back. It's me, Albatross, again. Okay, I said that this was going to be part two, but it's actually technically part three. So, part three of the Riverside investigation report. Okay. Okay. The CSD Quality Review Team assumed an expanded responsibility for auditing risk management cases, critical incidences, high risk, very high risk, and other targeted proactive reviews. So this is the Child Services Division Quality Review Team, so it's still the same people. Okay. And then implemented a process to provide SSPs consistent, meaningful feedback. Developed a tool to consistently communicate and measure performance, working closely with human resources on addressing personnel issues in a timely manner. Yeah, addressing personnel issues. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but they're still. Okay, anyways. You guys are smart. I'm sure you've picked up on that. That they barely ever make mention to how they're gonna better improve the quality of life for these children. But okay. The report concluded that DPSS/CSD made significant strides from May to October 2019. What? What? So a 5-month period. Okay. The current Assistant CEO of Human Services, Director of Departments, Public Social Services, and County Council work together to ensure that SSPs have the support and tools they need in order to make the right decisions. Based on our investigation, the grand jury concurs that the current DPSS/CSD leadership team is effectively promoting a culture of accountability and strong commitment to CSD's stated values. According to the Google reviews I've read in the past year or so, that's not the case. I digress. In its investigation, the 2021 to 2022 grand jury, through detailed interviews, examined the interfacing relationships with both county council and human resources. Our observations are outlined in the following sections, along with an analysis of the caseload management practices of DPSS/CSD. In this report, reference is made to county council. For clarification, it's shorthand to refer to the legal advisors who are members of the formal organization. Riverside County Office of County Council, not the individual. So they're basically saying when they use the term county council, they're not referring to one individual. They're referring to the members of the Riverside County Office of County Council. Just to clarify. The grand jury interviewed the deputy county council, who is most familiar with and directly engaged with DPSS/CSD. In our discussion, we learned she was not only the proponent of the warrant process changes and enhancements, she assumed a leadership role in improving the working relationship between county council and DPSS/CSD. So basically what they're saying is that county council is working with the CSD DPSS, and that this new person that's in charge of the DPSS CSD, she's the one apparently taking credit for this relationship and improving it or whatever. That she assumed that responsibility. That's what they're saying. They're trying to give her props, I think. The CDCC we spoke with and had, the new head promoted into the role in May 2019, working in concert with the assistant CEO, Riverside County Human Services/DPSS. Their brainstorming efforts served to break down barriers. The barriers she described included a time-consuming process, the levels of review predicated on the 4th and 14th Amendments Constitution, which imposes layers of review for the protection of parental rights. So wait a minute, are you saying that these rights and amendments in the Constitution are making it harder for you? Is that what you're saying? Let me read this again. The quote, levels of review predicated on the 4th and 14th Amendments of the U.S. Constitution, which imposes layers of review for the protection of parental rights. Yeah, so she's saying that's a barrier. The parts of the Constitution that protects parental rights, that's a barrier for her. Another problem? No after-hours process, which often stalls the process, and too many hands involved. I mean, I get it and I don't get it at the same time. Because I could see the perspective of if you really I could see the perspective of you need less people to make it more personal or whatever. However, though, when it comes to the government, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that last one. All the other ones, the last two I agree with maybe. But the first two, no. There are reasons that there are those layers of review. And as much as I hate to say that, because I know some children are in dangerous situations, but that's when the social worker should literally stand there with the child or outside the house or something. I mean, whether it's legal or not. I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't know. It just feels like, I don't know. It just feels like this is just all like a way to get less rules and restrictions on them, even though this was their mess up to begin with. That's just my opinion, but I could be totally wrong. All right. And okay, yeah, here's something I wanted to read because I do not get it. I don't understand what they're trying to say. A significant improvement was in the, quote, quality of work product, referring to the preparation of probable cause statements. Now, in case you don't know, probable cause statements would be basically like statements that like CPS are making for the probable cause of like removing a child or something like that. Basically, like it's to get their warrants to step into these child lives and stuff. They're talking about probable cause statements. So the quality of work product, which I guess they're referring to the preparation of probable cause statements. The documentation must show legal sufficiency along with the evidence that supports each element of the probable cause statement. Every case carrying SSP3 we interviewed. Okay, yeah, so they're basically saying like they got to improve their probable cause statements. Like it's not good enough what they're saying. Thus far, I mean. Okay, so the SSP3s express appreciation for the support they are receiving from County Council in this very important step towards obtaining a court order for a removal of a child. Wait, what? Okay. Yeah, they're just trying to get less restrictions to remove children, that's all. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. You all can hate me for it. That's exactly what it sounds like to me. Okay. Blah, 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 through our interviews. What? Through our interviews, it was learned that not all SSPs are familiar with this process. Generally, they are the non-case carrying, those not involved in specific cases, SSPs. County Council believes that all SSPs need to learn to complete a PCS, as it is important for it to be legally sufficient. This whole report's making me mad. I'm sorry. It's making me mad. Making me mad as shit. Okay. According to the CDCC, in terms of work done by CPS, 8% is bad press. I'm not really sure what they mean by that statement. Warrant denials are only 1 in 100, which reflects a vast improvement. She believes the process is now more streamlined, freed up. Whereas in the past, it was difficult to do successfully. So they're basically saying it's a lot easier to remove a child from their parents now. That's what they're saying. Working collaboratively with DPSS and CSD, the barriers have been removed, and they are now presenting a clear picture for the judge to approve. Okay, yeah, here's another thing I wanted to say. County Council, specifically the CDCC we spoke with, took necessary steps to, quote, lay down the deep track in training. Training that has been developed and is currently being delivered by County Council includes monthly, you see, this is a term I don't understand. Monthly brown bag meetings? Like, what in the heck does that mean? Brown bag meetings? Because I associate, like, a brown bag, like, with how they tried to hide those bottles of alcohol, like the homeless people, like, walking around bottles of alcohol. That's what I associate with a brown bag, when they try to put brown bags over it to hide it. But I don't know what they mean in this context. Brown bag meeting? The topics are selected by County Council, which may include, quote, hot issues, which are issues in the courts, documentation, and analysis of hypothetical cases with the SSPs. These meetings are mandatory and count towards the SSP's annual mandatory training requirement. Yeah, I don't know. If anyone can let me know in the comments what they could possibly mean by a, quote, brown bag meeting, please. I don't know what that means. Okay, but it sounds shady. Okay. During the core induction training phase, the County Council emphasizes cooperation and teamwork, fact-finding, and legal issues. It is a full day of training on those subjects. Okay, here we go, where it gets a little bit questionable. The SSP interviews, it was confirmed that, quote, core induction training of a period of 9 weeks is mandatory. However, the actual training content could not be clearly articulated by the SSPs. Also, while new SSPs are paired with an experienced SSP for a certain period of time, they were unclear as to the prescribed time for the pairing. What do they mean that this training content couldn't be clearly articulated by? Aren't they don't they have college degrees? You know, that's actually a rhetorical question, because I actually Googled it. And yeah, the general consensus is you need a college degree to be a social worker. Apparently in California, that's not the case. I have to double check on that and come back and let you know, but it's like a different requirement. Like, there's 2 requirements. You can either have a degree and there's like something else. I'll have to come back to that and read it. But like, it's very interesting because it seems like it's only in California. Okay. Okay, the training is currently supplemented by 3, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we don't need to read all that. If you want to pause and read all this, yeah. Human resources. Okay, yeah, this human resources seem to be concerned with like the SSP turnover, the average rate of turnover, and identification patterns and trends. So like, I think what they mean, they either mean SSP turnover as in like they get and lose a lot of SSPs, or they're talking about like the turnover for like when they assign SSPs to cases. I'm not really sure what they're talking about in this context. It's one of those two. I'm not really sure. They're not really clear. The objective for attaining information was to ascertain the degree of negative impact on caseloads, as well as the potential for derailing key initiatives taken by DPSS CSD management to meet their stated mission of protecting children. Okay, an average turnover rate of 32% makes it more challenging for DPSS CSD managers to effectively reduce the average caseloads. The causes of turnover, as reported to HR, understood and apparently typical for this type of work. Nothing unusual is evidenced in the data provided. Anyways, performance problems appear... Okay, yeah, here we go. Performance problems appeared to be effectively managed through, quote, pre-disciplinary actions. such as performance improvement plans. The data showed only one termination related to performance. I repeat, the data showed only one termination related to performance during this period. But there was a large number of probationary releases, according to the HR. Primary reasons were policy violations, interpersonal conflicts, conduct, and attendance. Well, they seem like to be a pretty big deal, but you only terminated one person for it? Anyways, I digress again. Recruiting statistics reflect a range of 75 to 85 days for the length of time to fill the department's open positions. What? That is almost 3 months. Okay, anyways, I'm going to skip all this. Recruitment, retention strategies. We're going to skip all that. You can pause and read it if you want. Yeah, them whining about their caseloads. I'm going to skip that. Because you can pause and read it if you want. And go to... Okay, all right, here we go. What was a common perception, however, is that caseloads, which are already challenging, continue to increase. None of the SSPs or managers displayed any indication of dissatisfaction or disillusionment that CPS management was not taking necessary steps to address this workload problem. Oh, here we go. An interesting observation, as reported by a few of the interviewers, is that calls into central intake spike during March, which is referred to as March Madness. Possible cause for the spike in the number of children returning from spring break and possible cases of, didn't block out that word, of harm are noted by mandated reporters such as teachers, school administrators, teachers' aides, etc. Another spike occurs in October. A probable cause cannot clearly be identified. So, March and October, it seems like that's a little strange. Why October? But why October? Anyhow. Okay, here we go. Other strategies being employed by CPS to drive down the average caseloads are strike teams, which are like a team to resolve cases that are older quickly. SSPs and 1s and 2s can do follow-ups after the SSP has stabilized the case. A new policy is the 5-day referral. Basically, they've got a 10-day referral program and an immediate referral program where they added a 5-day referral program, which is for them to for high-risk situations to get it done quickly, to get either the children out quickly or something like that. That's what I got out of it. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Supervisor Kevin Jeffries, Riverside County Board of Supervisors, recently commented in March 2022. CPS caseloads are at bone-crushing levels, adding that state funding to care for the vulnerable children and adults is grossly inadequate, and available housing and treatment facilities are significantly limited and at times non-existent. Well, I believe that because I know that they do got a huge homeless population in that area. But when I Googled the numbers, their funding it's a lot. They get a lot. They get over $1 billion. So yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not a lot. Maybe there's just compared to the caseloads and stuff. But I don't know. $1 billion is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. All right. Findings. I don't even want to read the findings. Oh, wait. I will read the findings for this one. Because, it's... Okay. For the warrant for removal process. While the probable cause statements may seem, quote, cumbersome, tedious, and time-consuming, according to only a few of the SSPs interviewed. So basically, some of these social workers are saying that the probable cause statement to remove children, it's too time-consuming and it's tedious. Okay. So you guys think you should just take kids without it, right? Right? That's what you're saying? These people are ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. And then there's this whole part about their removal process. You all can pause and read that if you want. Okay. Okay, structured decision making. Safety and risk assessments are the primary functions of the system, which A is safety, B is risk. And in our interview, CPS regarding this process in the SDM tool, they reported are comfortable with the tool. I need to read this SDM tool of what they go by, because I'd like to know. I really would. Okay. Because how do they tell if a family has a risk for future probabilities of harm or neglect? Oh, sorry. I forgot to blank out that other word. Sorry, guys. Sorry, YouTube. Okay. The turnover rate. Here we go. Oh, wait. Let me read this above. The grand jury agrees with DPSS CSD management that an increase in the number of additional positions in investigative services and continuing services would have a significant impact on the reduction of caseload numbers per SSP. I'm sure it would. Let's hire more people. And their average turnover rate is 32%. Okay. I'm going to have to get into the recommendations in the next video. Thanks for listening.